I'm tired of seeing this dent. I'm tired of seeing this mangled up grill. That's me. Started opening it. There it is. You know, it's dirty glory. The way it should work. Send that through. And that through. Not like so. Of course, upside down. There you go. So that's how it mounts. Now that I have all the holes drilled in the front lower part of the bumper, now the question is, do I put lights on the side here? My thought is about like that. And again, how do I space them, center them, and so forth? You know, that's what we got to look into. But that's about, if we're going to put them on, that's how we're going to do it. I'm pretty sure we're going to do it. It sounds dumb, but I wasn't sure. But if I want to do filming at night or get better shots from the side of the truck at night, these will illuminate the road a lot better. So, you know what? I think I'm going to do it just for you guys. I wasn't sure. See, I don't want it to look crappy during the day, but I want it to look good at night too. But again, for filming at night, it might do you guys better for GoPro shots off the side of the truck like I do. So we're going to go ahead and do it. Plus, I have the extra lights. This process shouldn't be all that difficult. Just a touch over 3, like 3 1/8, maybe. Yeah, 3 1/8 as far as depth. But you can call that 3 because that's where the roll starts, about 3, maybe a little less. And the bumper is actually 20 1/4. It's a 20-inch bumper, but it's actually 20 1/4. So you can call center 10 1/8. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to mark center. So center 10 1/8 right there. That's center line. So where's center? So we'll put center up here. Mark it 10 1/8. So this is center, up and down. And then top to bottom, center. Call it 3, we're going to call that 1 1/2. So that's where the center wire will go. So at that point we'll measure just like we did on the front. It's kind of tricky how it, not quite 4 inches. So what I was doing was starting at the 1 right there. So the trick that I was doing was simple. We'll leave center at 3. And then in the 1/8, between the 1 and the 2, kind of hard to explain, but in the last 1/8 right there, we're going to put a mark there. And in the last 1/8, before the 5, we'll put another mark there. So that's that. So now, we got to measure up and down. So let's do this, same as we did earlier. So 1 1/2, 1 1/2, 1 1/2. I'll use my level, put a line, And then that'll be where we drill the holes. This will be the center light. Obviously the middle is where we put the big hole for the wires, and the edges is where we put the small hole for the bolts. Battery. I'm gonna have the boys go ahead and put the grill back on. Now, what I did was I flattened out the chicken wire because this one came with the chicken wire pushed in a little. So what I did is I loosened up all the bolts along the sides. Granted, the grill that I got from the guy in Illinois, either that's an air-to-air truck or it's a non-air conditioning truck because it was set up a little different than the one that I had. But the chicken wire was pushed in, so I took it all apart, shoved the chicken wire out, massaged it flat. So now it looks really nice. So in addition to nice, shiny, new, maybe not new, but shiny, new, and good condition stainless steel, the chicken wire ain't smashed in. So go ahead, and Matthew also went to the store with, well, they both went, him and Brock, and they both got the speed nuts or captured nuts to clip on the outside. Matthew already installed them. They didn't have the nice new bigger ones for the center, but the ones we had were usable. So we're gonna reuse the old ones.
All right, Brock, you wanna hold it while I...
Sure. Got some hardware?
Mm-hmm. In my hand.
Just thread them in loose. You don't want to tighten them yet.
Can you lift up on this side, Dad? I need you to lift up on the side so I can get it in.
Wait a minute.
Take it, go to Google Translate, and it should tell you what language it is.
But yeah, I got a lot of comments in foreign languages. I think I got a couple from the DR. I got a couple from Germany.
Dominican Republic?
Croatia. Germany. England. I got a lot of England.
What
a lot of Europe. A lot of Europe. All over Europe. Poland.
Really?
And there's an old guy named Roy Wilson I see on there every now and again. He's an old timer. He claims he's in an old folks home, and he can't really get out because of COVID.
Poor guy.
Right? But he really appreciates the channel because he used to drive truck.
Oh.
So he's watching a truck similar to what he used to drive, and he commented like 3 separate times. I told him I was happy that I could entertain the guy. I hate to hear he's cooped up in an old folks home, but. Hell, if this crap makes him happy, I'm glad.
Look at that. Fucker's mint.
I like that. That looks good.
Got a new face to her.
Oh, compared to the busted up one, yeah. Those are for the winter cover.
Before, after.
That big.
Before, after.
Yeah, that looks a lot nice. Now I'm done drilling all the holes, quite a lot of holes. Got 3 lights to the side, 14 down the front, and another 3 on the side. So now what I'm going to do is flip the bumper over, start hooking the lights up, bolting them on, and then start the wiring. That's a tedious and long process, but oh well, chicken trucking ain't easy. I'm going to pick it up, come this way, stand it. Brock, tell you what, slide the cardboard out. And down. Dump the shards on the floor. And then Mercury sweep.
Thanks, Pa.
You're welcome.
What's
yeah, because
the language.
Are you gonna the stand is holding it.
Are you gonna time lapse this?
This is mostly time lapse. Yeah.
What?
Most of it's time lapse.
Okay, good. So you don't have to really watch the language, just when he's speaking, watch it.
You can edit, yeah, but it's easier on me if you don't.
So it'll go from 5 hours to 4 if you don't curse. When he was doing a lot of the car shows down in Chicago, because there's the illegal car meets and stuff, it was like he was blowing out plates, so it took like 7 hours.
Yeah, the video would take about 4 hours and then another 4 hours to blur out plates.
That was good.
It did. And the views weren't really there either. They were better, but they weren't great. I never knew just throw a camera on an old truck and they'll come by droves. Meanwhile, it's what I should have been doing all along. I never known it. Okay, boys and girls, so now all the lights are bolted in and I have the bumper upside down still. Now I have to wire it all, and that's going to take a myriad of time. Because the back of the bumper is painted, I'm not going to run a frame ground. I'm actually going to run a independent ground right to the truck. Might be a little bit better that way, just in case for having a bad ground. So, I guess I'll get started. So I finished with the wiring harness and I've placed the plates in here. These mount to the front of the truck. Now, I measured it up. I'm not going to get into exactly how I did it, but I found center mark, which is right here, and I set them where I could get a bolt top mount here and a bottom mount here, or maybe here, right? Either here. There's another one right here. So I can mount it perfectly. Now, this bracket does not fit a Peterbilt 352. However, with some drilling and some modification, it will. Now, coincidence happens to have it where this bolt mounts to the top part of the frame on the outer portion. We're going to show you in a minute when we put it on the truck. Once I put this bolt on, I'll put the adjoining side on, and then I'm going to put a board across it to hold them square. Then I'm going to mark through the holes in the frame where to drill new holes in this bracket. Once I do that, drill my holes, it should work. Let's try it. Thank you. Get it reasonably snug. That's it. Okay. Get the other bracket. I'll get another bolt first. Sorry. Once we bolt these on, I'm gonna put a piece of angle iron across the top to hold them square. Let me go get that angle iron. So I have the square rod laying around. I just gotta watch because I welded something on here to use this to hold something lined up. Probably.
That was for the frame of the Chevelle.
Oh, the Chevelle body?
Mm-hmm. The inside frame.
Okay. So you clamp that. Now what we have to do is mark with a Sharpie from the bottom side in to mark where we have to drill new holes in these brackets. So like earlier, center punch the hole. Typical FSC. Drilling holes in brand new stuff.
Some assembly required.
Some assembly required. Although we ain't naming this that. Let's throw in chips. Ain't the best bit in the world. Hope we got enough snot in his battery to finish one hole. Well, there we go. Excellent. Now, do you see how Matt was, and I just slowly sucked it all up? There's a story behind that. It's gonna be FSC story time. You ready? Okay, guys, FSC story time. You ready? An old man once told me, about time I share the wealth of information. Years ago, I was in Pennsylvania where we had that Pocono place, and I was helping some old guys out that bought property across the street and a little down the block, maybe like 2 properties over. I was helping them with moving a bunch of stone. And they had a tractor with a front end loader, so they let me drive that, and that's why I helped them, because I got to drive the front end loader part of a tractor. Well, these guys were old guys, and I was probably, I don't know, 13, 12 maybe, I'm not sure, I'm pretty young. And I guess they thought it was age appropriate to tell me the story. So they said to me, you know the difference between the old bull and the young bull? I go, no. The guy told me the story. He said this. He said, there's an old bull and a young bull. They're standing on top of the hill overlooking a field full of cows. Obviously bulls and cows, right? Girls and boys. So the young bull says to the old bull, hey, let's run down the hill and go make love. Fixed for YouTube. Let's go make love to one of the cows. The old bull looks at the young bull and says, hold on, Junior. You got it all wrong. You're putting your energy in the wrong place. Young bull looks at him like, what are you talking about, old timer? He said, I'm not running anywhere. I'm going to walk down the hill. And I'm going to make love to all of them. Moral of the story, put your energy where it's worth. So when you're vacuuming, no, just suck it up nice and easy. FSC story time. Back to work.
Bottom one first.
Yep.
Holding.
Yep.
Top.
Go.
Middle.
It's on the other side of the spring, Brock.
Got it.
Now, one thing we did forget, and Matt brought it up right before we started working, was I had forgotten to put the oversized load flags on the truck. Now, these are brackets that'll hold the flags. That way I don't have to do the bungee cord shuffle with them any longer. Where's the Sharpie? So while the bumper is face down, I may as well go ahead and drill out the holes and mount these brackets. Once they're in, they're in. And that's where that one's going to stay, right there. We'll duplicate it on the other side. Okay, boys and girls, now's the time. We're going to go ahead and see Orwell's new facelift. Flip it over like... You can't set it down. A little bit on the top. And then let the bottom go in. I think it's in. Alright, Craig, get the bolts.
Bolts on the front.
Top bolts.
Are these top bolts? I have the
top bolts of these with the washers.
Oh, then
Hang on. Are we side to side straight?
I think you need to line it up, guys, like side to side.
Right, but let me get that. Those are top bolts.
I am.
Yeah. Let me see if there's room to slack side to side. There is some. All right. That looks right. Look out.
yeah, that looks good.
That looks good. I mean, it only goes a little bit one way or the other.
That's better. Look at this, because you had it. This one was in
All right.
a little bit, and it looked weird.
Sock them down. Wow, guys, that looks totally different.
Tighten it or loosen it? You're loosening it.
Yeah. Oh, you have it.
I don't know, guys. It looks totally different. It's weird. It's like, I'm not really sure about the look, but then again, I'm not used to it. I'm used to seeing that old crappy bumper. Even before it was bent and mangled, it still looked like crap. And this looks really nice. Like, it's definitely different. Thanks for your help, guys.
No problem.
All I have left to do is wire the lights in. That won't take me too long at all. Okay, guys, she's done. And I'm dead beat tired. It's literally like midnight. We were trying to push through. See, tomorrow I got to go take the truck and go get it loaded. And we're going to go take another one of those big military trucks. I think it's a Hemet. Either way, we're going to load that Hemet and go to Baltimore. So I had to get this thing done tonight. And that's why we pushed it real hard. I'm going to thank my son, Matthew. He's sitting inside. He's getting ready to show you. Brock, you stand off camera. Thanks for your help, brother.
You're welcome.
Big time help. All right, Matt, let's show it off. I got some bad news for you guys. I did hook up my strobes on the bottom of my bumper. I took them off after the deer hit. They were dangling. One strobe is broke. So when we show you the strobes, sorry, I only have one. Tomorrow, whenever, I'll get back up to Green Bay and I'll go get a new light. I'll be able to rewire it when I get back. I'm not planning on doing a wide load, so I shouldn't need the strobes. So I'm going to stand off camera and tell Matt what to turn on. Hit the strobes. See, we got one that's on, one that's off. It must have got damaged from the deer hit, so I just after the deer hit, I just cut the wires and threw them up inside. So, sorry, we're going to have to fix that. No big deal. Okay, turn the strobes off. By the way, I do have strobes up on the top of the truck. Those work just fine. So we do have a wide load. It's really not an issue. All right, turn the headlights on. Now hit the markers. Now hit the fogs. There you go, guys. So right there it is. Man, I'm just stammering for my words. I'm tired. Getting ready to go to bed. All right, Matt, hang on one sec. All right, Matt, cut the headlights. Cut the fogs. Cut the markers. Ooh, that's bright. That hurts, don't it? Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. See that right there? Hit the subscribe button. Costs you nothing. Analytics show only 10% of you guys are subscribed. So please, subscribe. Hit that like button. Let me know what you think. We're going to keep making content with this truck, and I'm going to start bringing you more into the shop to do jobs like this. Start prettying this thing up. Man, I got to tell you, that looks good. I am really, really, really impressed with it. That looks nice.